The Northern Virginia Model Railroaders is a model railroad club chartered in 1949. The original half-dozen club members met in each other's homes initially, but sought a space for the club. Their first permanent home was a yard office in the Southern Railway's Potomac Yard in Alexandria, Virginia. The first club layout was a series of looping tracks with minimal scenery, but that was later replaced by a layout representing the Western North Carolina Railroad from Salisbury to Asheville, North Carolina. The Golden Spike, completing the main line of this layout, was driven by none other than Graham Claytor himself, president of the Southern Railway. This yard office remained the club's home throughout the 1960s. However, as the 1970s rolled around, the railroad industry began to change. Potomac yards saw dwindling use, and eventually the Southern Railway chose to divest itself of the yard, leaving the club to seek a new home. Around the same time, the Northern Virginia Regional Park Authority had been established to convert the former Washington and Old Dominion Railroad right-of-way into a trail. Along with the right-of-way, the NVRPA took ownership of several remaining W&OD structures, including this depot in the town of Vienna, Virginia. The club, the town of Vienna, and the Park Authority came to an agreement for the club to lease the building and build a model railroad inside. The club members began with getting the freight room of the building ready for the layout. A new concrete floor was poured, and the walls were insulated. The new layout would also represent the Western North Carolina Railroad from Salisbury to Asheville. The benchwork for the layout was carefully planned out, built in sections in a member's garage with mostly hand tools and slide rules, then brought to the depot and assembled on the premises. The benchwork fit together perfectly. The majority of the track on the layout was hand-laid. The railroad's electronics were also well organized, thanks to the prowess of the membership. The layout began with straight DC control, but was later upgraded to CTC control and finally to DCC control. The layout scenery has been a constant project ever since work began, though there's no such thing as a finished layout. To start our tour of the Western North Carolina Railroad, we'll follow Mikado-type steam locomotives 402 and 404 as they doublehead a westbound freight train out of Spencer Yard. The steep grades of the old Fort Loops provide a challenge to any train running across the WNC, but these two Mikados are more than up to it. The train's arrival at Ridgecrest means that it's all downhill from here, literally. Here the train will stop and locomotive number 402 will be cut off. Number 404 can handle it from here. Number 402 will return to Spencer, ready to assist the next train that needs it. Number 404 and train arrive at their destination in Asheville, North Carolina. Asheville is the western terminus of the WNC. This mountain city sits at the confluence of the Shenandoah and French Broad Rivers and is home to the Biltmore Mansion, the largest privately owned home in the United States. Our next train is a joint Southern WNC passenger train. Here we see the train arriving at the Asheville station. With the all aboard given, the train departs for Shenandoah, its next stop. With the stop at Swannanoa done, the train climbs to the summit of the run at Ridgecrest before descending the Old Fort Loops. The train makes a station stop at Old Fort, North Carolina. Clinch Cross Station in Marion, North Carolina is next. Clinch Cross is so named because it is here that the Western North Carolina crosses over the Clinchfield Railroad. The train reaches its next stop, Statesville, North Carolina. One more station stop before the train rejoins the Southern Railway main line. The train stops in Majolica. Our train passes Spencer Junction and is switched onto the Southern Railway's Washington to Atlanta main line. The train approaches its station stop in Salisbury, North Carolina. Salisbury, North Carolina is the county seat of Rowan County and home to the famous Cheerwine soft drink. It is also where a grocery store named Food Town was first established in 1957. From this store would grow the grocery store chain called Food Lion. Here we part ways with the passenger train as it continues to Atlanta. Spencer Yard is not far from Salisbury. Here we see a switch engine sorting some cars. Spencer is a division point on the Southern Railway main line between Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, Georgia. For steam-powered passenger trains running between Washington and Atlanta, Spencer was where the trains would swap engines. The locomotives coming in from either city were brought in for servicing, while a fresh locomotive would take the train and continue its journey. Spencer was also home to a large car repair facility. Many cars were brought in for repairs or general maintenance as needed. Today, the Roundhouse and Car Shop at Spencer form the grounds of the North Carolina Transportation Museum. One of the hottest trains on the railroad carried the coldest load. Here we see a hotshot reefer train make its way from Asheville to Spencer. Before mechanical refrigeration, refrigerated cars were kept cool with ice. Here we see the reefer block, which was railroad lingo for a train of refrigerated cars, stop at the Spencer Ice House to top off the ice compartments for each car. The Western North Carolina Railroad is a beautiful layout and looks every bit as good as you'd expect from a layout with a nearly 50-year history. The club has seen a few ups and downs over the years, but has carried on. In 2010, a blizzard known locally as Snowmageddon nearly took the station down when the extreme snow load on the roof bowed out the walls of the 150-year-old building. The club met at a different location for a couple of years while the station was repaired, but did open up again once it was safe to do so. 2024 marks the 75th anniversary of the Northern Virginia Model Railroaders. It is rare to find a hobby organization with a history so long. The club's longevity is thanks in no small part to the wonderful relationship between the club, the town of Vienna, and the Park Authority. With a roster of around 100 members, ranging in age from teenagers to retirees, I think it's safe to say that the Northern Virginia Model Railroaders will be in Vienna for as long as the town and the Park Authority will have them.